The thing is, I saw it with many people actually who has like childhood trauma. They are very good in their psychic powers. Why? Because when you are in your room and you know your parents have drama, so you need to put your senses outside to the kitchen to know, oh, can I go out or do I have drama with the parents? So this is your sensory is constantly outward, outward, outward. And I was training this a lot. And then that's why it was so easy for me to read everyone. But then I felt like, oh, I could feel if there a nuke is going on or an earthquake. And then that's the problem in the whole esoteric field when people are wanting to develop, but then they don't have the inner knowing or the grounding or the stability to really know when do I use my abilities of my extrasensory perception. And when I go into a city, I close everything down. I don't need to know what thought this person has or what kind of emotion, because otherwise I connect with illness.
Exactly.
From 0 to 7 years, a child's brain, the central nervous system, and mind are being formed. If during that time there are unresolved traumas, internal conflicts, or suppressed emotions left, it entrenched into their beingness that will cause a change in the state between mind and body. Trauma can lead to the development of psychic abilities in children as they become more sensitive to the emotional and energetic cues in their environment. However, while some children may get trapped in the negative cycles of mental health issues and chronic diseases, a percentage manage to break free through positive practices and influences like meditation and energetic work. Now, these children often find grounding and comfort, allowing them to develop their abilities in a healthy way, potentially leading to siddhi or psychic powers. And those who have experienced similar struggles can help others by using their insights and energy work to facilitate healing, creating a positive, supportive environment. By fostering this connection and understanding, these psychics can aid in transforming trauma into strength, healing both themselves and those they assist.
It's like you sit in the bus and you feel knee pain, and then you think, oh, it's my knee, I have knee pain, what should I do now? No, it's not you. It's your perception of another field. And that's why I always stay in the question, because a question opens a room of possibilities. Every fixed answer is closing it down. So the first thing is what I ask, is this really mine? How much in percentage is this really mine? And how can I make it different? How can I change a different possibility? How can I ask for a different possibility? What do I gain from this illness or pain? Is there anything else what I need to do, or do I need to go into full acceptance? So I always stay at the question and stay playful.
And all this is basically going inwards, trying to
Yes.
get in touch with your higher self. And but how do you recognize between the voice of your higher self and the habitual or default patterns of the mind? How is it?
The thing is, when you ask a question and it's a listening quality. It's the same in Tai Chi. I listen to the body and I feel the tension. The same is with my mind. I ask a question and immediately the answer comes. I don't go into a thinking process. So you have to stay empty to receive the answers. And then it comes by itself. Because thinking is always much slower. The information is already here. It's more like, am I ready to receive? It's the same like with a radio channel. You have to put into the right frequency, and it depends like what you will hear. And for the question about the boundaries, then I had to shift. I'm not here to be the healer anymore. I don't want to have thousands of patients all the time, because it's like the field is shaping you. And when you have constantly victims around you, you become yourself a victim. And so for me, it was more like, oh, I want to teach people who really want to make a change in this world, already business people who has already a big influence or a lot of money to make more retreat centers or whatever. because I've done over 15 years just serving humanity, people, blah, blah, blah. But then it's still like a little feared. And then I say, hey, we are so many millions of people. What would be better if the whole spirituality would finally become millionaires and billionaires to make an amazing change in the world?
True.
And
this
so I
fear,
got more
basically,
context.
I think this fear, basically, this fear within themselves is basically disconnecting from moving ahead in life or in their journey. They don't tend to come to agreement within themselves, or they don't forgive themselves most of the time. But
Every kind of illness is a lack of love. So everything what they do is a placeholder of love. Doesn't matter if it's sport or any other kind of distraction. You don't feel loved, so I need to create something to entertain myself. I need sex, I need drugs, I need whatever just to feel alive, because deep inside is still this old pain. And I just put another carpet, but actually it's still burning and I don't see it.
True.
And we are quite lazy people. We don't act till it's too late.
We
treat our body very bad, and then after 10, 20 years said, oh, now I have this kind of problem. Oh, please heal me. I said, no, it's your karma. You don't look till it's too late. And we have all the same problem, I have to say. It's like
right.
Alexander mentioned that everything you do is a placeholder for love. Here he means that many of our actions and pursuits are temporary substitutes for love and connection we truly seek. When people feel unloved or disconnected, they often turn to various activities or distractions, such as entertainment, TV, socializing, or even harmful behaviors like substance use, just to fill the emotional void and temporarily satisfy their need for love and fulfillment. These activities act as placeholders because they serve to momentarily mask the underlying lack of love or emotional connection. But they do not address the root issue. This becomes an endless cycle. And instead of experiencing genuine emotional fulfillment, individuals and practitioners might find themselves repeatedly seeking new distractions, ultimately leading to feeling burnout or dissatisfaction of the mind. Here, forgiveness is crucial for moving beyond temporary distractions to find true fulfillment.
Right. Yes, it's important. When people they resent themselves eventually without knowing, the subconscious mind start working against them, and I believe they have to learn to forgive themselves. But in your perspective, when it comes down to the role of forgiveness, both for self and others, how does it play in the journey towards expansion of consciousness, in your perspective?
Actually, over 10 years ago, I was in India, and I was like in such an enlightenment oneness temple. And for me, there was a lot of nonsense, to say it short. And so I started doing this forgiveness, Ho'oponopono, a long time ago. And then I did it again. I said, okay, I will do it now for 1 week, every day. And I take everyone from my family. And it was so funny. At that time, my parents separated when I was 12. And so they don't have contact to each other if there's nothing going on with the children. But they don't have contact. And so I was doing this Ho'oponopono for 1 week. And in the first days, I still was crying. So tears was coming up and didn't even know why. And Ho'oponopono is the Hawaiian practice where I said, I love me, I love you, I forgive you. And so you just come in peace and you just give the people back what you took from them, maybe from other past life or whatever. And the funny thing, what happened after 1-2 weeks, I was calling over Skype my mother. And she said, oh, I'm at your father's house. And tell me what you have done. I said, what's going on? No, I know you have done something. Tell me. I said, what's going on? Yeah, because it's not normal that your father is inviting me to his house, gives me a kiss and says hello. After being separated for over 10 years.
Right.
And then he showed her the house and the garden. She was like, totally, what the heck, right? Because it was not a nice split. And then, also your sister felt something is going on. I said, oh, interesting. So forgiveness can have a very big impact. And one time I was asking before I went to bed, hey, I want to receive healing in my dreams. And I dreamed about one of my old best friends who was like treating me badly, also with friends talking shit about me. And so I was very disappointed because he was like a brother for me. I did everything for him. And then I saw in my dream, oh, actually, before I incarnated, we have sitting on a table like all the soul parts telling, oh, you will treat me like this, you will rape me, you will kick me, blah, blah, blah. So we created this reality already to experience this. And this was a much deeper forgiveness. It's like, oh, it was my creation. It's not him. He's just a mirror for my own pain. And this was such a relief. So I don't have any kind of feelings about him anymore from the first feeling betrayed for many years.
Interesting.
And that's why forgiveness is very especially right now when you see so much craziness, and we will go more into zombie land. So it come up a lot of things where I say, hey, how is this even possible? Why is no one saying anything? Yeah, because it's like being a played character in a game, like an NPC, like just doing their own.
Just repeating those motions over and
AI,
over
you
again.
see already so many crazy stuff, you don't even know what is real. And this is also planned, because if I just can make you unstable enough, I can tell you later everything and manipulate. It's MK Ultra, it's mind manipulation. And yeah, I'm from Austria. I know how this got created with Hitler and all the stuff. So I was researching this a lot because I never liked first history, because it was just his story, someone who tells you what's the story, but it's so manipulation from church and all kind of stuff. But with all my traveling, I started to research much more. And then I saw, oh, I was traveling over 65 countries. And I saw, wow, I have so much history in Austria about secret government stuff, about UFOs, about elongated skulls, about aliens, about the Templar. Unbelievable. We have tunnel system who was more than 30,000-year-old tunnels, kilometers, we can't even imagine. And this is, it's forbidden to talk about the Danube Society in Austria, but they had a museum in London. So because the Danube, the queen is also connected to Ireland, there's so much stuff. I was like, what the heck? So I was traveling so much to find, oh, I have to go back to my roots. Don't have no knowledge about my own roots, where there was even like teleportation sites. So there are like megalithic places, and they found out, and it happened, when you play 4 notes, that they started teleport from one place to another. And this happened some years ago. And so I was researching a lot of places in Styria and also near here in Vienna. And I have now a machine to really see what is inside the soil. And so we will do a lot of stuff, but I'm not allowed to talk about this online here.